Hi everyone, Suzanne here. I hope you're all well and welcome to Sew Custom. Today's video is going to be how I made the pattern for this little number. This is a super quick and super easy little patterning design that can be used on a load of different designs. I used it here on something a little bit more dressy. Check out my Instagram, you'll see this dress. But if you're interested in a quick and easy patterning design, then let's get started. So starting with the patterning, I'm tracing here my back shirt block and I'm only tracing from the waist up, adding in all my markings. So I have a couple of notches at my sleeve and my waistline, drawing that waistline in. And now to straighten out the side seam, I'm lining my ruler up with my straight edge there, which is my waistline, and just drawing a straight line from the underarm point downwards, measuring down from the waist 3 inches just to add a little bit of length, and then giving myself a 1 inch hem allowance. And now for the neckline, I want to raise the neckline by 1 centimetre. So just measuring that in here. And then to make it a bit of a slash neck, I'm measuring from the shoulder neck point across the shoulder 2.5 inches. And then reducing the shoulder length by 1.5 centimetres. Drawing in my new armhole. So giving myself a nice smooth curve there. And then my new neckline. So from that raised point over to that 2.5 inch mark. And now I'm ready to add seam allowance. So I've went ahead and done that here. So I've added 1 centimetre along my arm and down my side seam, labelled. So this is my back and I shall cut 1 on the fold. The only place I haven't added seam allowance is at the neckline. I haven't quite finished with that yet, so I'll come back to that. So here, doing the same thing again with the front shirt block. So from the waist up, marking in my waistline, and then I'm just going to follow exactly the same steps again. So straightening out my side seam, adding my 3 inches of length to the bottom, adding my 1 inch hem allowance, raising my neckline, giving myself that little bit of a slash neck shape, so that 2.5 inches in from the neck shoulder point, drawing in that new neckline, and reducing the shoulder length. So 1.5 centimetres off the shoulder point, and then using my hip curve to give me a nice smooth curve for my new armhole. Now same thing again, I've just added seam allowance and labelling. So this is my front and I shall cut 1 on the fold. So I've now cut out my 2 pieces. So I have my front and my back and I just want to finish off the neck. So to do that, I've lined up my front and back at the shoulder. I've given myself a little bit of fresh paper in underneath. And now I'm just extending the neckline from the back onto the front. So I'm just using my curve ruler here and just extending that neckline on both sides. So lining my ruler up with the neckline and continuing that line onto the back. Now just tracing around the arm and then using my tracing wheel to run over those 2 extended lines. So that's just going to give me some puncture marks in on that fresh paper underneath. So just following those puncture marks,
drawing in with my pen so that you guys can see a little better. So that's my two little shoulder pieces that I've just cut out here, and now I'm going to add to each of my pieces. So one for the back, one for the front. So just lining each piece up with its corresponding bodice, making sure it's all nice and flat and sticking in place. And now just to add seam allowance along the neck. So that's my front and back bodice pieces complete. And you can see here how they'll line up and cross over the shoulder. And now for the sleeve. So the sleeve is just my shirt block sleeve. And I'm tracing here, adding in my markings. And I'm just tracing the top part because this is going to be a short sleeve. Drawing in my bicep line and then measuring down from that line 1 inch. That's the length I want my sleeve to be. And then just shy of 1 inch for my hem allowance. And then adding seam allowance 1 centimeter all around. Labeling, this is my sleeve, I shall cut 2, and that is this pattern complete. So I have my front and back bodice pieces, they're both cut on the fold. I've extended the length, changed the neckline shape and added that little extension at the shoulder, and just given myself a standard short sleeve. And this is what it looks like when it's all sewn up. I show how I sewed this one up in a separate video, which I shall link down below. But as you've just seen, this patterning technique is really straightforward to do. As I mentioned at the start, this can be used on a number of different bases, or you could simply just change up the fabric, do one fabric for the back, one fabric for the front. That would be really nice in this design. But anyway, super basic, straightforward patterning technique.
So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, please do, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye folks!